Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Saturday, the 23rd of October 2021. Today was match day. It was a very, very good match day. I predicted a loss. I thought we were going to stumble again, but the win train keeps on rolling on. And we beat Stoke City 2-1. And Tom Bradshaw scored twice. Very good goals. Very good passing and team play. And let's have a read of this. This is the report, match report, news@den.co.uk. Tom Bradshaw scored his first goals of the season to help Millwall come from one down to defeat Stoke City 2-1 at the Den on Saturday afternoon. The Lions had trailed at the break after Romain Sawyers had put the visitors in front with a well-struck effort from just inside the box in the 20th minute. But Bradshaw scored in the 51st and 61st minutes as Millwall registered their fourth win in 5 games. Bartosz Białkowski was called into some early action, getting down quickly to keep out Jacob Brown's header. Just a minute later, the visitors were calling for a penalty as Billy Mitchell and Sam Surridge clashed in the box, the Millwall man appearing perhaps a little lucky to avoid punishment. Stoke took the lead 20 minutes in. Brown and Josh Tymon combined well to work the ball to Sawyers, who powerfully found the top corner. Millwall tried to respond, and Jed Wallace broke away as the Lions countered, looking for an equaliser. Yet Shea Ojo in space to his left, but elected to go out alone and was crowded out, much to the disappointment of the home faithful, who were beginning to get restless. Millwall boss Gary Rowett changed things early in the second half. The fans had been calling for more attacking intent, and they got it. Matt Smith entered the fray for George Evans in the 48th minute as the Lions switched to a 4-4-2 formation, with Danny Ballard going to right back. That change brought an almost instant impact. 3 minutes after it, Ojo's perfectly weighted low cross reached Bradshaw, who notched his first goal of the season, finishing low into the bottom left corner. That brought a huge roar from the crowd, and they were soon on their feet again as Bradshaw doubled his tally in almost a carbon copy of the first. This time it was Ryan Leonard's pullback and Bradshaw's finish. The visitors did remain a threat, Stephen Fletcher forcing a save from Białkowski, but the Lions saw out the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Takeaways: Bradshaw takes his chance. Good things come to those who wait, but Bradshaw must have wondered when he would break his season's duck. Especially after having a perfectly good goal ruled out against Coventry last month. His hard work in the first half was unnoticed. The service into him was so poor, but he just doesn't give up, and he got his rewards in the second half. It was a second breakthrough for Bradshaw since he joined Millwall in the summer of 2018, the other coming in a 2-2 draw against Cardiff in October 2019, ironically before Rowett took charge of his first game against Stoke. Rowett has lots of competition up front, but he clearly rates Bradshaw for all that he brings to the team. But strikers know how they are valued by their goals. Maybe this can spark a run. Two contrasting 45 minutes of football. After Tuesday's win at Sheffield United, Rowett acknowledged that his side needed to be more aggressive in home games to get the crowd going and make the Den a fortress we all know it can be. At times this season, it's been very quiet in the stadium with an agitated crowd, and every time a pass was misplaced here, you could sense the frustration before the break. The Lions boss took a bit of a gamble at the start of the second half, given Ballard is not a natural right back. He has played right back for Northern Ireland, so Smith was introduced and the Lions took the game to the visitors. It was much more on the front foot, and the two goals came within 13 minutes. It will give Rowett something to consider, especially as Danny McNamara made his return as a second half substitute and is comfortable at right back as he is at right wing back. Those will be questions for another day. Rowett still unbeaten against former club. Rowett's first Lions game was against the Potters, a 2-0 win at the Den. Since then, he's faced the club that sacked him in January 2019 with a further 4 times and is still unbeaten. 2-0 draws followed by 2-1 wins. Meanwhile, Stoke must be sick of hearing London calling. They haven't won in the capital since November 2014. Yeah, and it's now 32 games for Stoke travelling to London without a win. That is insane. Team news: Rowett was forced into one change, with George Saville suspended after picking up his 5th booking of the season at Sheffield United in midweek. Mitchell came into the starting 11 And the team was Biakowski, Leonard, Ballard, Hutchinson, Cooper, Malone, Evans, Mitchell, Jed Wallace, Bradshaw, Ojo, and Smith came on for Evans. McNamara came on for Jed Wallace, and Kifton Bell came on for Ojo. And the unused subs were Long, Murray Wallace, Pearce, and Mahoney. So there you go. That's the match report from today's fantastic 2-1 win over Stoke City. And let's see what Gary Rowett had to say about that. Mill's Gary Rowett on Stoke win, thriving in chaos, edgy den, and a decision back 5 versus back 4. Mill boss Gary Rowett said his side thrived in the chaos at the den as he praised Tom Bradshaw for the striker's match-winning performance against Stoke City. Rowett sent on Matt Smith for George Evans after half-time as Mill took the game to the visitors. Bradshaw netted his first goals of the season. Bradders is such an honest lad. If I told him to go and play right back, he'll do it with every ounce of energy he's got and commitment, Rowett said. He presses really well, that's why he's come back into the team, because he presses so well from the front. I think he's the type of player that makes other players look better, sometimes to his own detriment because he works so hard for the team. So for him to work so hard and get the goals as well, he's in the right position. He drifts away from defenders in the box, and it came at a time when we needed something to change. The change had the desired effect. I felt when there was chaos in the match, we looked like we thrived a little bit more in the chaos than Stoke did. As soon as we scored the goal, it looked like us that were more comfortable with the game swinging end to end. Unfortunately, we got another goal. It was the fourth time in the last 10 games that the Lions had come from behind to get a result. It was put to Rowett. His side don't make things easy for themselves. They've scored 3 goals from the 89th minute in 3 of those games. You can say that again, he replied. We seem to be a very good reactionary team, and what I'd like for us to be is a little bit more proactive from the start. We've worked hard all week. We're aware of our home performances haven't been quite good enough overall, even though we've won a few of them. We worked very hard in the week to show them when we're aggressive and when we make tackles and get on the front foot. We tried to do that from the start. Having beaten Sheffield United on Tuesday, I was going to do a 4-2-3-1 at home, but it was difficult to do that because the players had played really well, and it was difficult to change too much. So we decided to let them go again. I think that Stoke played Joe Allen, Sawyers and Vrancic in midfield because they knew they had the quality and composure to play around our press. They were a good side and made it difficult for us to get any real intensity early on in the game. You can only do that when you've got the ball. Then when we did have the ball, we used it so poorly in the first 20-25 minutes. We spoke about playing it forward, but there's playing it forward and there's shelling it out of play and not giving our strikers any chance at all to chase things and make it difficult. That was the disappointment with probably the first 25 minutes. I actually felt for maybe 15-20 minutes at the end of the first half, we broke 3 or 4 times on Stoke and got into very good areas. We should have done better, but it wasn't quite enough. To concede the goal and be 1-0 down coming in at half time, everyone was edgy, players were edgy, the fans were edgy, and we certainly needed a reaction second half. And they got it. They got the reaction in the second half. So more comments from Gary Rowett. Now this time about injuries again. It's welcome to the daily injury. So who's injured now? We had a clean bill of health for about 2 minutes. New Millwall midfielder injury worry. Gary Rowett revealed George Evans pulled his calf in a 2-1 win over Stoke City on Saturday. Evans was playing with a broken hand. You can see he's got the thing on his hand there. But was forced off in the 48th minute, was replaced with Matt Smith. He pulled his calf. He broke his hand against Sheffield United but played with it, which we were a little bit concerned with, Rowett said. Mason missed out today. He had a problem with his knee. He got a clatter at Sheffield United. We've had a clean bill of health for about 2 minutes and then we're back to counting how many players we've got left. So it's stretching us. Jed Wallace went off in the 83rd minute. That was a tactical move. Rowett said just at that point we needed another body in defence. It was whether we could stop Stoke scoring with the quality they've got. They brought on people like Tom Inks, Stephen Fletcher. At that point I think we just needed to block the game up and hope we could hang on, and we just about did. So there you go. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. This is basically a repeat of what we just seen in the other story, so I'm not gonna bother with that, to be honest with you. But I will show you this at the end of the video. So where are we now? We're still 10th. Well, we were 11th. We were 10th, and then we went down to the 11th on the Wednesday after the other teams played. Now we're back up to 10th. We've dragged Stoke City down because they are now on 21 points. And if you look here, look how many teams are on 21 points. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams on 21 points. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. 7 teams on 21 points. And who's our next game against? Huddersfield Town. And oh look, they're one of the teams on 21 points. So it would be really good if we could win that game, wouldn't it? So I feel we're in a really good streak of form at the moment. We had that weird, crazy loss to Luton, but all the other results have been pretty decent. So we play Huddersfield next. We go up to them next Saturday, and then a couple of days later, midweek, we play Reading. Now they're on 19 at the moment, so we're playing the teams around us now. So this is a real watershed moment. Which way are we gonna go? Are we gonna keep getting decent results? Are we gonna keep getting wins? Because the wins will rise us up that table pretty quickly. They really will, especially when we're beating teams around us. If we beat Huddersfield, if we beat Reading, then after the Reading game we got Derby, and then we got Middlesbrough, who are one of the teams on 21 points. And then we have a really tough game against Bournemouth, and you can see how tough it is, because Bournemouth are top of the table by some margin, by 6 points. And they've only conceded 8 goals in 14 games. So that is absolutely amazing. So hopefully we'll get some more points in the bag before we face them. But yeah, pretty good. It's going pretty good, isn't it? Some wins, 4 wins out of 5. What more could you ask for? Yeah, so if we beat Huddersfield, we're going up above them. Stoke City are on a absolute downer, 3 defeats in a row. Yeah, absolutely amazing result today against Stoke. I really did think that the run would be ended, but it didn't. They kept it going. They've seemed to have figured something out. Something's clicked. Something is working. Whatever they're doing, I think it's working. But yet again, you know what I mean about the way it could have went either way. Stoke scored first, and like they said in that match report, the opposition scoring first, then we have to respond. And then Rowett saying, "Oh, it's up to the players." But it's your formation. You're playing a defensive formation, which means the opposition can play an attacking formation. But it's not perfect, but we're getting results. We're getting wins. We scored 2 goals today. Very good goals. Yeah. So there you have it. That is the match report and post-match comments from Gary Rowett from today's game, and we'll see what the stats say tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you for watching.